Hey everybody, welcome to the JLash show. My name is Jackson Lasher. Welcome back to the show. So here's your daily dose of sports, starting with the 76ers. 76ers, Anthony Edwards is out at least 2 games with an ankle injury. Unfortunately. I don't really see him being a part of this team. However, I think that he could be a part of this team pretty soon if he starts playing pretty good and starts playing, you know. You just need to be good when you're playing with this team because we're not that good. The bar is set high for us, and I just think we just need extra time as a team to think and decide what we need to do. Nick Nurse just needs to do a better job and all of that. All right, then Quentin Grimes talks comfort level, and that is a reason for confidence in the 76ers. Yet the Sixers recently traded Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes coming from Dallas is a good addition for the Philadelphia 76ers roster. The roster, it's good. They have a young roster. Tyrese Maxey's pretty young, if you ask me. They had Jeremy Kane, he's out, but he was pretty young. Joel Embiid's starting to get up there a little bit, but that's okay. I hope that they are. I just hope that he can still play as a good center, and that's all I can say about Joel Embiid. He's an okay center with not much going on. He's just playing for the 76ers. Not much going on for the entire team as a whole because they are on their downfall for Cooper Flag, which I'm liking because I really want Cooper Flag a part of our team. So I think Cooper Flag would be a really, really good addition for the Philadelphia 76ers. So the Philadelphia 76ers they're just doing okay. So they're just chilling. They're close to last in their conference, but still, at least they're tanking for flag and not tanking for no reason. I just don't think they're playing really good offensively, if you say that, because their offensive game's okay, but the rebounds, like I said a lot of times before, are a really, really bad part of this entire team. Like we can't get past the second round because of it. So I'm really looking forward for them to fix all of that. So now bringing in my guest, Chris Gallo. How's it going, Chris?
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Gallo. I especially don't like how the Sixers have been hurt by injuries so much this year, and rebounding has been a problem this year, especially because Drummond's been hurt and Embiid's been hurt, and I think overall the season's been an overall failure because of injuries. But it's also kind of an ending of a super team era in the NBA, as you know, the super team for the Sixers hasn't really gone too well, and you've seen with the Nets and other past super teams, it hasn't really gone too well. So I think the Sixers need to get more bench players and more bench depth and try to build around what they have with the limited money that they have because they've given a lot of money to Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George, and they don't really have much extra money to give, you know?
Yeah, especially because Paul George is really starting to get up there. We shouldn't have really traded for him because he's starting to get pretty old, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you have given him $50 million for 3 years, so you can't really trade him either because of all the money you've given him.
No, a buyout would be a lot for that because Paul George, he was a good player way back when he played for the Clippers years ago, but now he's no more than like a bench player. He's like 30 something years old, up in his other 30s. He's just not that good.
And that's why you give money to that kind of guy. But when he wants that much money, it's a huge risk because if it goes wrong, you're in a Sixer situation where you suck and then you don't really can't really do anything because you spent all the money on that one player.
Yeah, who do you think we should give more money to right now?
I think Yabusele is an option, but he may not re-sign because the Sixers are not that good and they don't really have that much money to give him. And the Sixers found a gem in Yabusele, but they only signed him to a 1 year contract. So he becomes a free agent this summer and he could go anywhere. So the Sixers really have no control where he goes.
Yeah, I do you think we should like re-sign and keep Gershon Yazbuli?
If if we can, but the problem is we don't know if we can with the money because we're giving Paul George 50 million, Maxi 30 million, beat 30 million. You don't really have extra money to pass around, you know? and you still have to build more teams, or you still have to build around like a whole team. Like you've seen this year where we've had bench players and G League players come up to the NBA because we just don't have enough players to build a roster because we spent all our money on three players.
Do you think Jared McCain's gonna go off next year after he's like not on injury leave anymore?
Well, he's probably going to start off slow because it's obviously a serious injury that he suffered. But when he comes back and he's fully healthy, I think he can be a solid 15 to 20 point per game scorer every game, and he can give you solid minutes every night, which is good. The Sixers need that.
Yeah, I think that the Sixers are like building around McCain and Maxey because they are probably one of the best the two best players on the 76ers right now. What do you think of that?
I would agree with you, and I think they have to maybe blow it up a little bit and build around the young core that they have. Maybe trade some assets to get some draft picks and try to build around this young core. I think this experiment that they've tried here isn't really working out for them.
All right. What do you think about the what do you think about the head coach Nick Nurse?
I think Nick Nurse is a solid coach. I think he can't really control injuries. Obviously, you can't do that. But I think he's an overall good coach. He's proven he can win in the past, and I don't think his position should be at risk at all. I think he should stay the coach until he does something where the team continues to be bad.
All right. Thank you for hopping on for me today. I
Thank you,
appreciate it. Have a
Jackson.
good day, Chris.
You as well.
All right. Now, other NBA news. The Grizzlies general manager refutes claim that Morant could ever be traded. So, what that means is that they don't want to let go Morant because Morant, he's a good player, but he did it was either last year or a few years ago that he got suspended for showing a you know what on a Instagram live or something like that. Now he's back, but they don't want to trade him, so I really can't blame them for that because he is a solid player if you think about it. He's a good point per game scorer. He's a good, I mean, my opinion, I think he's a good point guard because he's small. He can, I mean, he can score good points. He can score like he has a better 3 point percentage. He's just got to work on it, you know. All right. Also, some not so news. The 2025 NBA All Star was the second least game watched. What so the NBA All Stars, it's really not worth it. So I think that the NBA All Stars should be canned because it sucks. No one really watches it. No one really cares. Like, who watches the NBA All Star events besides like people that want to watch competitions for the NBA? Not me, because I don't really care what's happening in there, even though like when Benyama's in there and all that stuff just doesn't matter to me. The only thing interesting was the Mac McClung dunk contest, and that he three-peated. So also the Sabrina and Steph 3 point showdown was canceled, so that wasn't an option that this year for the All Star. So no one wants to watch it anyways if there's no All Star. So moving on, Doncic will likely play regular minutes against the Hornets, although he is out against the Trailblazers for a long-term calf injury. So hopefully he gets better. He's a young player, so I think he will get younger. I mean, not younger. My apologies. I think he will get better over the past few days, the next few days. So I am still thinking about that Doncic and Anthony Davis trade. That's still very shocking to me. I think I think it failed for Dallas even more because Anthony Davis, even though he's like in his lower 30s, he's just not that good. So, I mean, because he's injury prone and then yeah, I mean it's just not fun. He's really good on fantasy. He was really good on fantasy for me this year, but I'm gonna have to let him go because he's just not that great of a center because he's injury prone. I think he's out until at least March. So even though March is soon, I think that they should still I think I should still can him off my fantasy team. So moving on, Tim Hardaway Sr. thinks that Jimmy Butler was a crybaby for wanting out of Miami. I don't think so. I can't blame him because Miami, it's they're just not that great of a team. So I get it. I get it for Jimmy Butler. I get what he's saying, and I feel him because I don't want to play for the same team for like all my career or most of my career. I think that I want to switch over to team to team to team because then it gives me a little more chance to play, gives me more money. So moving on. Bobby Portis was suspended 25 games. Can you all believe that? I surely can't, even though he's not the greatest center, like the backup center. I still can't believe that. That's very, very shocking to me. So, and Wembenyama has officially been ruled out for the rest of this season. So, that is it for the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's move on to Philadelphia Phillies baseball, aka MLB. Who will be the best player in the Phillies leadoff spot this season? Let us know in the comments below. But I think it would be Trey Turner because he has the power, he's got the speed, he's got everything to make it to the leadoff spot. Kyle Schwarber, he's okay sometimes besides leadoff home runs. That's pretty much all he does for the leadoff spot. He doesn't quite do much as we expect, but okay. Moving on. Kyle Schwarber is going to be a three-hole hitter. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think he'd be number two, in my opinion. Harper number three. Harper, we just need him to play good. I mean, Schwarber being a powerful hitter as is, I feel like could have the power to be a second hole hitter in their lineup. In my opinion. So, what do you think of Taiwan Walker coming back to the Philadelphia Phillies organization? Is it good or is it bad? I personally don't think it's good because it doesn't really matter to me, but he just sucks as a pitcher. He was not a good pitcher. He had an ERA over 5 last year, and he had like a 3-7 record. I don't want him coming back. Like, why would you want a pitcher coming back to your team if he sucks? All right, moving on to MLB baseball news. The Nats signed Lucas Sims to a 1-year, $3 million deal, which I feel like that they're just signing people, young people at this point, because they are real. I mean, they need pitchers, they need batters. This point, I mean, Nationals could be a contender in a few years. You just got to see where they get in the off season and spring training and see how they do. So, no Vladimir Guerrero Jr. extension with the Blue Jays, and he will now become a free agent. What do you guys think of that? Because Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was very good last year. At least I think so because I mean I think he just had the power for the Blue Jays. He was batting, he was doing great for the Blue Jays, and they not signing a contract, an extension with him, seems a little bit uncalled for, in my opinion. Like I mean, why would you let a player go like that off your team? I think that the Blue Jays should be ashamed of that because Vladimir Guerrero was a good player that had a lot of potential and had great potential. So I think that they just I don't I'm not know what to say about that anymore. So Red Sox signed Adam Ottavino to a minor league deal. At this point, I mean the Red Sox, an AL team, division rival Yankees, Blue Jays, so they could become a contender in MLB, but I mean it's gonna be a little while before they do that. So in my opinion, I think that it will be a little bit until they become a contender. Okay. Moving on with the NHL, Quinn Hughes will not join Team USA, which why would you not want to play for the USA? You know, I think that the USA is a really, I think that they're a very good team. USA's very good country. I love the USA, you know. So I think that him not joining is a little bit meh, but it's whatever. He does what he wants to do, you know. So also, the NHL met with New Orleans expansion group, excuse me. I think that the NHL is trying to get a hockey team in New Orleans. That's kind of what it sounds like. So I'm thinking that they're going to try and expand the NHL a little bit more. So, not much for the NHL, not much for the Flyers in general. The Flyers, they just need to become a powerful and good organization and very young organization at that with their forwards and defense and all of that. I think that they just need to do that in order to become a good team, but not much with the Philadelphia Flyers lately. So, moving on to the NFL. The postseason is now in full swing. So, watch out for any trades. I will be looking online, see if there's any trades, report them back to you guys. So, Eagles, let's start off with this. Eagles promote Kevin Patullo to the offensive coordinator. I think that it's okay. I think Kellen Moore was a good fit, but he just wanted to leave for a head coach position in New Orleans, which I can't believe. Because why wouldn't you want to stick with a Super Bowl contender team? They could have repeated next year. That I mean, it could have really been incredible if they repeated next year. I mean, I think that it's definitely possible that they could. So why did Kellen Moore leave? A really good team that won the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. But I guess it was for the money. I guess he was just trying to help out the Saints or something. I don't know. So the salary cap could rise to $281.5 million in 2025. What do you guys think of that? I think that it's okay. I mean, NFL players, since they are really starting to play rough, they've been playing rough, get injured a lot. I feel like that they deserve the most money, in my opinion. So, the Chargers are playing week 1 in Brazil, from what I saw. So I really, really hope that they can just mash it all up and destroy the team that's playing in Brazil. All right, Panthers sign Andy Dalton to 2 years, $8 million deal. What do you guys think of that? I think it's okay. They should. I mean, they do need a backup quarterback, but I think they want him as a starter. So I'll leave it up to you guys to think about it and all that. All right, that's gonna be it for today's daily dose of sports. Watch for more videos on the YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram, follow our Twitter, follow our Facebook. See you later, JLash Show.